Well, when the subject of church planting comes up, I think of Philip Jensen in Australia, who gave 25 to 30 years of his life planting dozens of congregations. And one of the insights he gave us early on in our church planting work was that the gospel is growing, i.e., Colossians chapter 1, the gospel which came to you is bearing fruit in all the world as it is among you. Since the gospel's growing, we plant churches to hold gospel growth. And that's counterintuitive. Most places in North America, anyway, church planting is a consequence of the growth of a particular congregation. And so when we have too many people, then we'll plant. Philip Jensen turned all that on its head and said, no, we plant to grow. We don't plant because of all the things that have grown. I've found that true in our own environment. I've been a church plant 10 years. We're in the midst of our third and fourth congregations in Chicago. They're at various levels of maturity. And our own membership voted to hire a church planting pastor when we only had 37 members and 100 in attendance. And that's a people that understand, let's train, equip, and send because the gospel's growing. So church planting then is a tactic, not a divine mandate. It's a tactic to hold gospel growth, which God has promised is going to take place. And so it's been an interesting 10-year ride. Church planting, I've often told people, is like pulling a toboggan uphill in wet snow. That's the way it's been for me. That's the way it's been for every church planter I know. But it is a glorious, strenuous, exalted work, but it has to be rooted in a belief that the gospel is what's growing, not churches. And so what kind of churches we plant are important to me. The goal is not more churches, just churches. It's churches that are gospel-driven, gospel-growing, word-centered, expositionally founded ministries. Most people planting churches today aren't trying to do it on an expositional basis, but I think that's where we need to go.